I transition my home and my space to this new stage of life when a lot of it feels like I'm still 40, right? I still have the kids' elementary school pictures hanging on the wall, and I still have all this old stuff. Their bedroom is the same as it was, but they moved out 8 years ago, right? Like
Mhm.
it's like almost this time capsule. So,
Mhm.
how do I move on to this new stage of life without feeling like I threw all those memories away?
You're listening to Advised with Rick Lucchini.
This one is different. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm over my skis and out of my comfort zone. I've got Jeannette Ciezykowski, and I pronounced it right. I practiced a few times before I hit record. She is not a financial advisor. She is not a tax consultant. She is a personal life specialist and feng shui expert. Stay here because we are going to explain how that's going to help you be more successful before and after retirement. So, Jeannette, let's just start right there. This is weird for me. Okay.
That's good.
But
New things are good.
it is. And when I was kind of researching this, looking at your media kit, it made me actually start thinking like, hey, there's something here. There's something here. I'm thinking about my clients, especially those that are transitioning to retirement. So why don't you just start like, why is this not crazy? Why does our space matter, whether that's our space at work, at home, outside, wherever we're being? Why does that matter
Mm.
so much? And how does it affect us?
Great. Okay, I love this. We're getting right in. Your space matters because now, well, even if you're not retired, most people are working from home maybe 50% of the time, maybe 90% of the time. So you're eating, sleeping, living, playing, working,
Yeah.
trying to cultivate your partnership. Like everything happens in this house. And so your space matters. To like hit it home very quickly, we've all walked into a place where we're like, this feels off. Like let's say you do work from home and one day you're like, I got to get out of this house. I'm going to go work from a coffee shop. There's a coffee shop that you're like, I can absolutely focus and be motivated in here and lock in here. And then there's another one where you're like, it's too bright or it's too cold
Yeah.
and dark. And there's a lot with feng shui that it's an ancient tool, it's an ancient art, it's been around 5,000 years, just like acupuncture. Like there's this whole Chinese metaphysical world that's been around for a long time, but a lot of it is also very intuitive. And for like to put it simply, we've walked into a space before that feels off. Well, when it comes to our house, no one ever like taught us how to make a space feel good
Yeah.
necessarily, right? We can look at Pinterest and be like, "Oh, this looks pretty," but that doesn't necessarily mean it's good for us, right? Like Lamborghinis look cool, but they kind of hurt to drive in. So we've learned what looks good, but we haven't necessarily taken the time to slow down and say like, "What feels good to
Yeah.
me?" And we don't really know that there's other options. We don't know that, well, so I'll stop there. We don't necessarily know that there's certain ways things can be arranged or certain things in our space that are making us not feel good. And we want to feel happy, energized, and
Yeah.
good so that we live a happy,
I
fun
work
life.
I started working from home almost exclusively last year, and when you're saying that, it makes perfect sense because, like, in the middle of that, my office is in my basement. It is currently unfinished with plans to finish it, and it stresses me the hell out because it's like this place where everybody upstairs brings things to make it go away and it's also like my office, right? So
Yeah.
it, that makes sense to me. Clutter stresses me out. Things not being in the right place stresses me. That's part of my personality, but I think what you're saying is everybody's personality is different and you need to find those things that make you feel good. For me, it's straight lines and clean. For somebody else, it might be more bright. For somebody else, it might be more dark, but just something that you feel relaxed and productive in.
Yeah, and there is actually a reason for that. Based on your birthday, you have we won't get woo woo on here. We'll stay very
It's okay. You can
practical.
be woo woo. Yeah.
Well, the little bit of woo woo I'll encourage people to look at is there is a way you have a personal energy number based on your birthday. And those are associated with an element. In feng shui and acupuncture, all of it is about the way we achieve balance and feel balance, harmony, fun, like this calm you're wanting to feel in your office. We balance the 5 elements: fire, earth, metal, water, and wood. So in our space, we'll look around for that. But based on your birthday, you are one of those. So based on my birthday, I'm the earth element. I'm 8. So I also like clean
Yeah.
lines, metal, straight. I do like simple. If somebody had a 9, a fire personal energy, they love the woods, plants, bright colors. They're the ones with this like maximalist trend where there's just stuff everywhere and color everywhere, and they don't find it overwhelming at all. And actually it like feeds them. So yeah, that's it's your personality, but it's also like based on your birthday.
Yeah.
It's like there's a true energy in you. That's why too, like some people like a dive bar and some people like cool, flashy, like
Elegant, or yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
elegant,
It's
yeah.
so it's not one size fits all. It's
No.
custom tailored to you and your personality, which can be interesting when you start talking about two different personalities living in the same home, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
so how does that balance work between, because I can tell you that birthdays aside, my wife and I are very different. Um how how does that balance work with two different personalities in the same home trying to balance it?
Yeah, you find the middle. So, like, if you were earth and she's wood, so like if you're earth and you like this simple,
I'm
like
not gonna
clean
tell her she's
metallics,
wood.
and she's wood, and she likes plants and blues and greens and teals, the element that bridges that gap is fire. So you add in
Got it.
some of that. So you add in what bridges the gap for
Got it.
people.
Yeah, that makes sense. So
If
what
anybody
about
wants that free resource, I can have you link that. I have a free guide that helps you discover that.
I
So,
will. Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, we'll put that in the show notes, and depending on where you're watching this or listening to this, check out the comments and it'll be in there.
yeah.
What about outside? Like,
Hmm.
do you think about that at all? Because that's where I'm the calmest or the happiest, or like I want to have my coffee out on the back patio sitting around the fire pit. I mean, no fire going, but just like that's the place that I go to. We have a lot of landscaping around there that we've done. And do you think about that at all? And what kind of value should people put on their outside space if they're into that?
Yeah, well, actually, that's more important. So, true feng shui, I have a master's in landscape architecture, and I discovered this whole feng shui world by
Hmm.
studying. Like, I came across that. So, real feng shui, despite what Google and ChatGPT will tell you these days, is it actually starts with your external. Feng shui is the study of how your environment affects you. Where are the mountains? Where are the water? Where's landforms? And how does it protect your land? So, fun fact for people listening, the first feng shui before we got into decluttering and colors, it was where do we bury our ancestors for ancestral luck? So, where do we put this plot of land that's protected by mountains, shrubs, mounds, water, so that
Right.
they're honored and bring everybody living good luck? So, we always start macro and then we go micro. So yes, your external is super super important, if not more important. It's just gotten more modern, like we have to adapt with the times. So your
Yeah.
external is definitely important. Your The front of your house, for everybody listening who wants to continue to, or like set themselves up for success in retirement, who's wanting to make good money wherever, even if they're retired or not, the front of your house is like a face, is how we see it. It makes a first impression. So there's a couple like analogies I use. If the Amazon guy can't find your front door, good energy and good money can't find your front door either. So
Right.
the shrubs, the landscaping, you want to clean it up and like open the face of the house so that it's smiling and welcoming in people, energy,
And
like good
yourself,
vibes,
because you're coming
yourself
home every day. Yeah. Right.
and yourself. Well,
Right.
so if you're entering through your garage, then you gotta work on that area over there. But the first
That's
impression
interesting.
is
Yeah.
yeah,
That
but
is that's
the first
yeah.
impression is the face of the house, and then also, like, your lights. If you haven't wiped down and cleaned your front door in a while, do it. If the lights have been burnt out by your front door, fix those. We
Yeah.
all like, fall's coming, spiders are picking up, like,
Yeah.
cobwebs, all of that. Clean all that up. If things have been feeling just like if you've been feeling kinda in a rut or, like, low energy, cleaning up your front door, sweeping it is like you'll feel this like reinvigoration even in your life. It's kind of wild. Like when I
Yeah.
have people clean their front door, even they're just like, whoa, I feel like I got a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting too, because I mean, you're talking about it on the, feng shui side, but what I'm hearing is similar to your health, your family, and everything else, is just having pride in
Hmm.
your things and your surroundings, which is a reflection on you to yourself, but also to other people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Having intention, I like to say feng shui is giving your space attention with intention. Just like giving your life, or to your point, like your body, your health, your things, like what is the intention for the stuff in your space, for the
Yeah.
choices you're making?
So I'm gonna take this to retirement in just a minute. So if you're listening to this, hang on. But before that, any stage of life, what are a couple easy, like, I don't I'm not diving into this head first, but I'm listening to this. I want to dip my toe in the water. I want to take the first couple steps. What are a few easy things that somebody listening to this could do right now to start implementing some of this stuff themselves, and see how it feels, or test it out?
Yeah, so for sure the front door,
Okay.
right? Again, if you are staring at the front of your house, does it seem welcoming, inviting, cheery, like, or again, are there shrubs like covering all the windows? Have the lights been out? Are you a little bit like, "Oh, I don't really like want to walk up to this house?" That is indicative of like people aren't going to want to walk up to you, opportunities aren't going to want to walk up to you. It is equivalent. So that's a great place to start cleaning the front door and just fixing anything in the front. Then if we go inside, the office is a really important place. And I
Yeah.
mean, because that's where we're still making money, we're still making plans, and we want to enjoy what we're doing. So for your desk, what we recommend is sitting in the power position. So you and I both have a solid wall behind our backs and we are facing the room.
Yeah.
We want to have other people want to do that too. If you feel like you've been hitting a wall, you don't have a lot of clarity, or a little confused about the next steps in your life, notice how your desk is facing. If you're facing a wall, you're going to manifest this feeling of hitting a wall. So we want to rotate that in. And if you think about it, like kings and queens, or even like CEOs in movies, they don't have people coming up behind them. Like
Yeah.
subconsciously, it's very hard to focus if a little bit of us is always like, is something coming up behind us? So facing the room, that's going to help you feel reinvigorated again. And it's way more fun than cleaning up your desk, right? Just rotate it
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
have people like imagine money, opportunities, people, good luck, whatever it is coming to you.
From the
And then
front.
another good
Yeah.
place is the bedroom. Like for this easy, simple start that you asked for, the
Yeah.
bedroom's also where we recharge. And next to you, if you think about this whole idea of intention and like having pride and stuff, this is like really a place for you to honor yourself. And I won't get like cheesy and woo woo, but like if you've got a bunch of like Kleenexes, glass, like water
Yeah.
glasses, old books, like some people still have stuff from their exes in their nightstand.
Yeah.
Like all of that stuff is an energy, or like still is this, you're thinking about it a little bit. And when
Mhm.
you see it, it doesn't make you excited to like relax, unwind. Like so
Large. Yeah.
clean your nightstands are a great place to clean that up and be intentional. Like what's the first thing you want to see when you go to bed? What's the first thing you want to see when you wake up? And you'll have a better night's sleep.
Answer this, and then we're going to move on to what I really want to know on the retirement side is, TV in the bedroom. What's your stance? Go.
It's no good. Yeah, TV in the bedroom is no good. Because one, it acts as like this really large mirror, and mirrors in the bedroom when you're sleeping bounce around energy. So if you have like hands down one of my best tips to date that people see like instant like wow from is if they have a mirror in their bedroom facing them while they sleep, remove it or cover it up, and they finally for the first time in years sleep like all the way through.
Okay.
That it's like one of the best things that like hits. TVs kind of
Yeah.
act like a mirror, right? They reflect. And then there's also just like feng shui aside, we shouldn't be staring at screens Like, that's just
Yeah.
new science.
No, I know.
We
And
shouldn't be staring at
yeah,
screens. But I
yeah.
have yet to have a single client who takes the TV out of their bedroom. So
Really?
that,
Really?
you get to pick and choose what parts of it you want to follow.
Yeah.
But I always am
No,
like, hey, as a responsible consultant, I have to tell you to take it out. But they never
I
do.
agr I agree with you. We don't have one in ours,
Oh,
but
good.
no, I had to that's because of me. That's because of
Okay.
me, because I agree with that. I didn't know any of the energy stuff, but just the idea of, like, my living room is for watching TV, my
Yes.
bedroom is for sleeping,
Yeah.
and those 2 things should be separate. So, I
Yeah.
agree with you. I'm glad you agree, but I had to ask because of I didn't wanna
Yeah.
be proved wrong and then
Look,
have
it's
to
more
go
like
through the
in you than you think. Your desk is already in a good spot.
Oh,
The
I know.
TV's out.
I'm
Are
doing
you
this
a
without
feng
even
shui
knowing it.
consultant?
I might be after this. So here's what
Yeah.
I really wanna get to, the retirement side, okay?
Yeah.
I work with a lot of people that are transitioning to retirement, if not
Yes.
already within the next few years. And when I'm reading this stuff and reading your bio, the first thing that comes to my mind is, how do I transition to this new stage of life? How do I transition my home and my space to this new stage of life when a lot of it feels like I'm still 40, right? I still have the kids' elementary school pictures hanging on the wall, and I still have all this old stuff. Their bedroom is the same as it was, but they moved out 8 years ago, right? Like,
Mhm.
it's like almost this time capsule. So,
Mhm.
how do I move on to this new stage of life without feeling like I threw all those memories away?
Yeah. There's a lot of layers to it because you're gonna have people who are more sentimental than other people,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have people who are fearing the future and people who are excited for the future. And like if I was talking to them, I would say first and foremost, get clear on what it is you want to create. I think a lot of times people they're like, I've been working so long and hitting retirement was always the end, and they have never pictured anything past going to work every day.
Yeah.
And see it as like an exciting time. This isn't daunting. This isn't the end. Like this is really cool. This is everything's been culminating to this. How do you create this life you want to live moving forward? And so rather than seeing it as like throwing away the past or decluttering or like preparing for the end, because I know someone out there's like, well, that just getting rid of stuff makes me think it's all over.
Yeah.
See it as like you're making space to receive new memories, new like fun times, new opportunities, new things.
Yeah.
Back to the analogy of like we see the feng shui or we see the house as like its own living, breathing thing. So the front being the face, but also your hallways are like the veins of a body. It breathes life into the home so that you're enjoying living in your home, feeling comfortable, feeling happy. And so you want to like declutter those hallways first. If they're like take out the clogged, right? Like we die when our artery, like when our veins
Yeah.
get clogged and the oxygen can't go. Same with your hallways. So declutter those and think of it as like making space to receive ease, better health, more money. And then if you have a bunch of pictures of like kids, past family, like look at those pictures and think like, are they who I'm taking into the future? What do these pictures make me feel? Do they make me feel sad and reminiscent?
Yeah.
Are these some friends that like don't even I'm not even friends with them anymore? Like take down those
Yeah.
pictures. Is this like is everyone in all these pictures dead? Well, then maybe this goes in a scrapbook and we bring some life to the walls. Like
Yeah.
slowing down and getting again, feng shui is giving your space attention with intention.
Okay.
So starting with what do I want in retirement? How do I want to feel? What do I want to create? If it's fun, it's usually fun, family, trips,
Yeah.
golf, right?
Yeah.
Put up think of that as you go through your house and like audit your house. And
Okay.
you're not throwing away the past by like compartmentalizing your kids' 8th grade projects.
Yeah.
You're just making space to receive a new chapter of life. And you're
I
still
like
honoring
that.
it by putting it somewhere compartmentalized and
Yeah. Probably in the
intentional.
basement. Yeah, probably in the basement with me,
Yeah,
but
you're like looking around. Yeah.
no,
My
I
mom's
really like
basement would agree with you. Yeah.
I like that, making space for the new memories, and what I'm hearing is, like, it doesn't mean you have to have this ultra modern, like, nothing
Mm-mm.
on the walls. Maybe
No.
replace the 8th grade picture of your daughter with her wedding photo or
Yeah.
her daughter, right? Like, let's update everything, update what's around you to live in the present
Yeah.
rather than the past, because a lot of people transition to retirement, and you're right, they are retiring from something and not to something.
Mm.
And that can be very dangerous for a whole lot of other reasons,
Yeah.
but having that space feel present and almost looking forward rather than looking back and, you know, feeling sad that you're no longer 40 isn't
Mhm.
healthy for you don't have to be a feng shui expert to know that's not healthy.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah, and like look at all these things that you juggled while you did have a job and all these cool memories you had while you did have a job. Now you have so much more time to be with the people you love, do the things you love. So looking forward and yeah, there's so many more pictures to be hung on the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. How much value do you put on, like, where things are positioned? Like, people are they overthinking it by doing stuff like that when I'm looking at, like, our furniture or things like that? Or is it more what the furniture looks and feels like versus the exact angle that it's at in my space?
So of course, like if we're doing feng shui, it is very important we use the directions. So it's like, what level do you want to talk at? You know, if
Yeah.
you're somebody who doesn't care to get to level 5 feng shui, level 10 is like you build a new house using feng shui
Okay.
principles.
I'm not
So
level 10. Yeah.
yeah, you're not level 10. So, level 2 again, I would say like level 1, level 2 is like yeah, just being intentional, looking around, but feng shui is about there's this thing called a boggle map, you put it over your house, it looks like a piece of pie, it looks like a pie, and there's different wedges for north, south, east, west, and each one of those pie pieces or directions has a different impact on your life. Like we all based on our birthday, not only do we have that element we're associated with that I talked about at the beginning of the episode, but we also have lucky direction. So we have lucky career and success direction, lucky relationship direction. And by lucky, I just mean there's it's like being in alpha brainwaves. Like things just click better
Yeah.
and flow better. So I always help people look at, can we put your office in your lucky career and success direction? Then you're just in the right place at the right time, attracting the right people. Life is easier. So the directions are important if
Okay.
we're talking about feng shui principles. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So one more thing. I was born November 23rd. What element am I? And please make it a cool one. I hope it's cool.
November 20th. But I need your year. Are you comfortable saying how old you are?
1984. Yeah, I'm going to be 41 this November. I am very comfortable saying that.
You are 7. So you are metal. I was close. I was like, you've got metal in you. Yeah.
I feel like a metal.
Yeah, and so
Uh,
you're wearing gray, you probably
I
have
was
a lot
kind
of
of hoping
gray.
for fire, but just because it sounds cooler. But metal's
No,
cool. I like
metal's
metal.
cool. Metal's cool. It's very like so it's very like leadership tendencies. They
Yeah.
do like the steps. This would make sense for the field that you're in too. It's very
Okay.
more like math, accounting, like not as like artistic, right?
More type
And
A. Yeah.
you look more type A,
Yeah.
but you could be type A and still be fire.
Okay.
But yeah, liking so you're probably really drawn also to the color black in your space.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like,
Just in my
uh,
life. Yeah. I do a lot of black. Yeah.
yeah, so metal, they're attracted to the whites, grays, simplicity, simple
Yeah.
lines, clean lines, gold, accents, which is like basically your background. And
Yeah.
then you're also would be into the color black. So
Awesome.
versus more like this whole like beige trend, right? You're probably
Okay.
leaning more to, you'll probably stay in that modern, minimal modern.
So,
But here, if I can say, so when people find
yeah.
this, so then what you think is that's you and what you like. But then if you're feeling drained in your space, like if there's just days where you're like, I still just don't feel, because too much metal can be very cold, can be very not inviting, can be
Yeah.
very off putting. Like people might not feel comfortable, and you might even feel a little drained if you have too much water. So you want the earth element. So go ahead and add to feel rejuvenated, to feel balanced, to feel more like you have some resources. Because that's what earth is to metal. So you can add in like terracotta pots or like this one's a little bit tricky because it's like how do I add in like clay and pottery, but like those textures or a little bit of like a burnt orange would be good, it's like more masculine. Like some of those earthy tones
Yeah.
will help you feel
Okay, that makes sense.
less do focus, and like it'll make you a little more
Yeah.
fun.
That makes total sense. So, I'm listening to this by accident. I thought I was gonna learn about money, and now I'm listening to feng shui. I'm 20 minutes in, and I want to learn more about it. Right? How do people learn more about you, what you're doing? How do they get in touch with you?
So you're big on LinkedIn. I have a LinkedIn as well. I would say most of my helpful free content is on Instagram and YouTube.
Okay, and in your Instagram handle is what?
Elemental Clarity.
Okay, Elemental Clarity
And that's YouTube as well.
at Elemental Clarity. Check her out. She is the feng shui expert, and I hope you guys, I hope you could kind of take it serious. Like seriously, think about where you're spending all your time, and just like the color of the light or all the other things that are around you, how that can affect how you feel. It can affect your health. It can affect uh, your energy. Um, it's real stuff. So take it serious. Thanks for coming on. This was fun, and
Yeah.
have a good day.
Thanks.